I'm here thrilled, excited, ready to jump in this morning. So just getting the text set up. So good morning. It is day 2 of the Optimal Health Harmony Summit. I am super excited for the speakers that we have today, and I'm just thrilled to be here leading the way for an incredible group of women who are participating in this event and truly are just ready to unlock their true potential and embrace their life with power, confidence, and true fulfillment. So welcome as we get started. Before we do, let me introduce myself. I am Kaneesha Willer, the owner of WILLpower Fitness and the host of this event. I recently developed TOM, the time optimization method for taking back control of your health through fitness, nutrition, and leadership. I myself help busy shift workers optimize their time by shedding 10 to 15 pounds in 90 days without giving up their favorite sweets or adult beverages, without the information overload or sacrificing any more time that they already don't have, in order to show up as the strong, confident leaders that they want to be for their career, family, and self. So welcome. My mission here today is to serve you ladies, and how the next couple of hours will go is at the top of every hour. In the next couple hours, there will be a new expert joining me to talk about their area of expertise within the women's health field. And each of these guest speakers are offering something at no cost to the audience today. So stay tuned until the end of each of those sessions to find out what those bonuses are. Yesterday, day 1, all of the other additional speakers to the summit also offered these bonuses. If you are interested in those replays, it is one summit, one event that you did not want to miss. And it was absolutely fire yesterday. So I do have a VIP upgrade, and the replays are available with some additional bonuses. So if interested, then head over to the VIP page after you've registered. Head over to the VIP page and upgrade to VIP. Get in on that offer. Get the replays. For all of you ladies, this is seriously an event that you are wanting to be a part of. So I too will be offering a never offered before bonus at the end of my presentation as well, and will give a little bit more insight to TOM, the time optimization method. So let's get started. Let's talk about transforming your life through fitness. So today I want to take a deep dive into the profound relationship between fitness and leadership, and how investing in your health is really a catalyst for transforming every area of your life. So get ready to embark on this quick journey this morning of self-discovery, growth, and empowerment. Take a deep breath with me. Check in with yourself. Give yourself a real pulse check. Where is your body? Where is your mental health? Where is your physical health? Where is your emotional health today? How did you sleep last night? How did you fuel your body this morning? How are you feeling your body today? Who do you get to show up as in this world? Who are you wanting to show up as? Who have you been up until today that you would love to take control of and start leading, to be a real leader of your life, of your health, your own journey? I would love to know. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. How are you feeling? Check in with yourself, a pulse check. How is that showing up for you today? How is that showing up for you in your life? So take that deep breath, do a pulse check, and let's jump right in. Because each one of you ladies truly possess this incredible power within you, a power to lead, a power to inspire, the power to make a profound impact in this world. Yet many of us ladies have experienced this struggle with our health, feeling disempowered, lacking the confidence, and not showing up as our best selves in every aspect of life. And it's time to break free. It's time to break free from the limitations that have held you back and embrace your inherent leadership potential that's already inside of you. It's the greatness that I already see. You get to see it. You get to own it. And as you do that pulse check this morning, really check in. What does that look like for me in my life, of where I get to go with my communication, my vulnerability, my patience, my willingness to admit that I'm wrong, my willingness to go out and go for it without hesitation, to make the declaration of what I want, to even tap into the vision, to get creative with what life could look like for you without hesitation, without limitation, without resistance, and where you truly get to take control of your life. Now, let's define leadership, because there's so many different meanings of leadership and what that means or how that could show up. So let's expand. Let's push out the walls around us, those barriers. Let's stretch the rubber band. I made this reference yesterday. Let's stretch the rubber band and get out of comfortable thinking. So leadership is not confined to a traditional role or title. It is not. And I can give so many examples as a prior law enforcement officer, as a detective, where this really showed up. It didn't matter the rank that you wore on your sleeve. You had an opportunity to lead, to guide, to inspire, to mentor anyone around you, whether that's a coworker, the public, whatever, whoever, your family at home, your bosses. Leadership is not confined to that traditional role or title. It is a mindset, an attitude, a way of being. And so for those of you who are watching or will watch this on replay, drop your comments of what ways of being would it take for you to show up as a leader in your life? The ways of being like passion, courageous, bold, loving, honest, powerful, intentional, committed. What way of being would it take for you to step in as a leader of your life? Because when we cultivate our health and well-being, we become leaders in our life, leaders who take charge, set an example, and influence anyone that's around us. And as women, the power to rise up others. There's nothing greater. And it's time to redefine that leadership, not only in our mind, but in those around us. And step into the unique power that each one of us bring. We get to embrace our vulnerability. No, having emotion or being a woman does not mean that we are weak. In order to be an effective leader, and again, it doesn't matter the title or the role, in order to be an effective leader by the ways of being that you get to be, who you show up as, we get to also embrace our vulnerability, the intimacy, the bravery, the courageousness. That all comes from a place of vulnerability. It takes courage to acknowledge our struggles, to share our stories, to seek out support. It is actually stronger to allow our emotions to show and to ask for support so that we don't get into burnout. We don't get into failure. We don't get into the world being on our shoulders. And by creating a safe and compassionate space for others to be vulnerable, to share their stories. And in turn, we strengthen our own resilience and inspire everybody around us to show up the same way. Cultivating a life, a world of transformation, a world who is willing to be open, honest, confrontational in the least disrespectful way. Truthful, compassionate, vulnerable, transparent, authentic. So what ways of being land for you where you get to embrace your vulnerability and show up as the woman you were meant to be, the woman that is inside of you that's been suppressed? Yesterday's conversation we talked about allowing our emotions to finally break free, to allow the messages that are coming in to also flow out. When we pour into ourselves, being able to give out, where we get to show up authentic. We get to show up as our true self. So let's provoke that need for change, not out of a place of scarcity, but out of a place of where do we get to go? Who do we get to be? What is the vision? What are we here to live for? What are we here to live and create? What are we here to live and be? So let's embrace the uncomfortable. Let's start talking more about the uncomfortable. Let's lean into the uncomfortable, because that's really where breakthrough happens. That's where we learn the greatest lessons. That's where we have the most power, is in the uncomfortable. And of course, change is going to be uncomfortable. Growth often requires stepping outside of that comfort zone, outside of this box that we know. Again, going back to that stretching the rubber band. It's still all there and we can come back. We are the controllers of it. But when we stretch, that rubber band continues to get bigger. That rubber band continues to grow. We get to push out the walls, create newness. And yes, with change lies some immense potential for uncomfortable, but it's time to embrace it, to challenge that status quo, to push ourselves beyond the self-imposed limitations, those external forces that have happened to us, or what we feel has happened to us, and shift into seeing how the world is actually showing up for us. Step into that uncomfortable and show up right back. True transformation begins when we're willing to face this discomfort and take it on head on, to grow through it, to push beyond those limits. And part of that uncomfortable is really unleashing our unique voice, our unique, whatever we're bringing to the table, our unique mechanism, our unique power. However that looks for you, the uniqueness of what you bring to the table. Each one of you ladies have a unique voice, a unique perspective, a story that deserves to be heard. Someone else who is motivated, inspired, and moved by what you've been through. And it's time to express it. It's time to embrace it and unapologetically show up, to unapologetically share, to unapologetically create what you want this world to be. And you get to do the same for yourself. It begins with you. How we show up in this world always begins with us, inside of us. And through fitness, through self-care, through taking control of our health, we strengthen not only our physical body, but our voice, our power, our belief in ourselves, our self-worth. When we nurture our health and well-being, we cultivate that confidence, that self-esteem, the clarity to speak truth and lead authentically as our authentic, limitless, unapologetic selves. And when we do, we get to embrace feedback. We get to be willing to accept feedback. Feedback, taking it in as neutral, from a place of no shame, no blame, no guilt, no fault. Receiving feedback as open, honest, direct, confrontational results, data, information, neutral feedback, understanding what's working, what's not working. Feedback is not failure when you take the lessons and apply it and keep moving forward. Failure is when you quit, when you stop, when you've taken that feedback and you've given up, you never move forward, you never try again. Failure is not the end point and rather just a stepping stone, the lesson in a path to success and applicable in all areas of your life, not just physical health. It is time to shift that perception of failure and embrace it as the valuable feedback that it gets to be. Each setback or perceived setback or obstacle, the perceived obstacle, is an opportunity for us to learn, grow, and redefine our approach in life. And when we start to really redefine this failure, the sense of failure, we unlock this mindset of resilience and adaptability, essential qualities of effective leadership. And when we can do that within ourselves, when we embrace, we embody, we practice, stepping beyond what we perceive as an obstacle, as a failure, as a setback, and see them as lessons, as neutral feedback to understand what worked or didn't work. And we apply that not just with ourselves, but then in every area of life. How would life move forward for you? Drop it in the comments. Let me know, how would that move your life forward? How would that create leaders around you? Who would you be when you embody this way of being? When you embrace the feedback, you're willing to give it, you're willing to receive it, and you use it to propel you forward, to get closer to that vision. How would that look for you? How would that feel for you? So as we've started to awaken this desire for change and exploit the possibilities and opportunities that are around us for us to really step into our leadership. Leadership being defined nothing of title or role, but actually how we show up, the being that we are in our world, in our life, in our relationships, in our careers, as mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts. Who do you get to be as a leader in your life? Let's get ready to unleash it, to break through our leadership potential that's already inside of us. Where does it even begin? Well, it begins with a holistic approach, holistic wellness, mind, body, spirit, and not religion, spirit. The emotion, the passion, the drive, the connection to the energy that's around you, you being the energy, bringing to the room the light that you are. Leadership starts with that self-leadership. That self-leadership starts with holistic wellness in all those areas, mind, body, and spirit. And it's not about the physical fitness, but nurturing that mental and emotional well-being. Explore these practices such as mindfulness and meditation, self-reflection, the journaling, the awareness, the reflection of life to cultivate this harmonious connection between your mind, body, and spirit. And watch your life shift, watch your attitude shift, watch your being shift. When we prioritize this holistic wellness and lay a solid foundation of self-care, self-leadership, we inherently become the effective leader we want to be, that we get to be. The leaders that our families, our peers, our coworkers are relying on us to be. which serves in building a supportive community around us. No leader thrives in isolation. We get to build and cultivate this community that encourages and motivates and holds us accountable. We get to build a tribe of like-minded individuals who share similar aspirations and understand our journey, while pushing out the barriers with us, to pushing out those walls, to stretching the rubber bands of seeing what's possible, being willing to go the distance with us. The community gets to provide necessary support, guidance, inspiration, and fuel for not only their own transformation, but yours, and sustain a leadership growth pattern within ourselves, within others, within everyone that they touch, the other lives. Whether you go to the grocery store and open a door, you smile at the cashier, to serving the community and picking up trash, however that shows up, the impact you get to have in this world is so abundant. You get to choose it. You get to see it. And you get to continue to lead by example. As leaders, our actions speak louder than any words we can direct. By first leading ourselves, we inspire others to follow suit. And others respect us more when they see that we are willing to take care of ourselves. We are willing to show up. We are willing to put in the hard work, the time, the energy, the investment to lead ourselves. We become the example. We become the permission for others to jump on board. We get to set the example through consistent self-care, mindful choices, goal-driven actions, seeing the vision and taking committed action to get there. We get to be that example. We get to lead by the example, creating a ripple effect of positive change, empowering others to embrace their own leadership potential, seeing the greatness in someone else rather than their shortcomings or what happened in the past, seeing them beyond the history that they have already written, allowing them, giving them permission to rewrite the future, to being open to neutral feedback without the blame, shame, guilt, fault, either for ourselves or for someone else. We get to embrace adaptation. Leadership, it requires adaptability, a willingness to embrace the change, to navigate through uncertainty, adjust the course as needed. Maybe something happens. It is life after all. But leaders are willing to navigate when the hurdle comes up, when the speed bump arises. Leaders are willing to change course when needed, to create the choice of choosing a different path. As a leader, you get to tap into your own power of adaptability and how fitness, nutrition, wellness, all the things, health that we have talked about over yesterday and today, to show up and enhance your resiliency, your agility, your abilities. And when we honor these adaptability skills, we become effective leaders who are thriving in dynamic environments. And others see that. And we create leaders in others. We cause change. We're not just asking for change. We're not just preaching for change. We are the creators of it. We are the leaders of it. And this goes right back to the beginning. This goes all the way back to the beginning, that you have the power. You have the power to show up.
That's just
and be the permission. To show up and be the permission for others, to guide them, to lead them, to cause and affect leaders in not only yourself, but anyone around you. So ladies, as we come to the end of our time together this morning, I leave you with the resounding message that you have the power within you. You have the power already inside of you to be the extraordinary leader of this world that we all see you as, the leader of your health, the leader of your family, your career, your relationships, the community. When you start to prioritize your fitness and nutrition, which you all have been here, you are showing up today, you've shown up yesterday, you are taking that step. You get to continue, you get to leave here and continue prioritizing your wellness, your fitness and nutrition by shifting that mindset and taking committed action towards that vision to unleash your potential, your power, your confidence. You're the fulfillment of being a leader. The journey is not always going to be easy, but the community starts here. You have a community of support here today. A community of support who would be willing to cheer you on every step of the way. A community that's being a stand with you right now. Taking themselves on and challenging the perspectives, going after solutions for their health to show up. And although it won't be easy, you get to embrace that uncomfortable, embrace your unique voice, embrace the failure as a stepping stone to success, be open to feedback, and share it with others. You are capable of leading with authenticity, vulnerability, adaptability, power, confidence, self-esteem, to show up as the woman you were meant to be that's already inside of you. It's already there. You just get to tap into it. So thank you. Thank you again for joining me. This is kicking off day 2 of the Optimal Health Harmony health event, women's health event. I'm so genuinely excited to witness incredible transformations throughout this process and really see you unleash your potential going forward, utilizing fitness and embracing a life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment. So I'm grateful for you being here. I'm excited for you to be here. I'm going to drop the link in the chat again to join me on a discovery call. This discovery call is not a sales call. This discovery call is a rapport-like conversation where we get to take a dive into your health, really do a pulse check on where your journey is, where do you get to go, and maybe look at some of those action items, the action item steps that we get to take for you to show up as a leader of your life. So I'm going to drop that in the chat. Book a call with me. Let's start getting you optimal results with your health and your fitness, your wellness. There's options on how we can handle it after the call. But let's start out with, before we move forward, just getting to know one another, getting to know each other. Let's connect and decide if it's even a good fit. Tom, the time optimization method that I developed focuses on 3 pillars: fitness, nutrition, and leadership. So much of what I've already dived into today and yesterday, and really showing up as an accountability partner for you in your health, to go after the goals with a game plan, to understand the details without giving up the things that you love in life: time, your sweets, the wine, whatever that is, without information overload, showing up in your life as a leader, strong, fit, with mental clarity, powerful, confident. So I'd love to get to know you more. I've dropped the link in the chat. Book a discovery call. Let's chat about where you get to go, how I may be able to serve you if it's a right fit. At least give you some resources, some action item tips, whatever that looks like, that's going to move you forward in your life. We have about a minute, 2 minutes before our next speaker comes on. Again, I am so grateful, thrilled that you ladies are back in the room today with me. We get to enjoy a couple more speakers and end out this optimal health harmony journey. Stay tuned, stay in the room. We'll be back in just a minute or two as soon as our next speaker comes on. Thanks, ladies.